15, take 2. Camera set.
We are at English National Ballet's headquarters, and we're making a film called The Principles of Classical Dance. And it's based on a book from the 70s with photographs by Anthony Crickmay, who was a sort of a well-respected dance photographer, but also did a lot of commercial stuff as well, so Athena posters from back in the day. And this particular book has photographs of Anthony Dowell, and it's kind of examining the very simple principles of classical dance.
Anthony Crickmay produced this series of images that I think were quite extraordinary for the time. They give you a huge sense of movement, and that's what we wanted to have in this particular film. So Billy is using various different camera techniques to try and replicate that feel.
There are some photographs that are very, very clear, and some others that are a bit more evocative of movement. And so we're trying a few different in-camera techniques to show that. We've got one bit that's a little bit slow motion, another bit that's a little bit kind of blurry, the shots are a bit blurry, and a combination of all of those things. And being able to move the camera around on this track system that we have means that we can be wherever we want to be and find exactly the right angles to present the dance. So we've chosen the Holloway production studio, which is part of English National Ballet's home, because it has certain theatrical elements that are really useful to us. So we can fly cloths and hang lights, and we've made use of whatever facilities they have here, and it's a really useful space. But the one thing that we weren't able to have was a fabulous sprung floor and vinyl, which we've got from Harlequin, because that's where we get all our floors, and we know our filming experience tells us that as long as you get the floor right, then you'll have no complaints from the dancers. So that's almost like the first thing we have to work out: how's the floor going to work?
We tried to replicate in this space an enlarged version of Anthony Crickmay's studio. We often shot with a white floor and a white backdrop, and the lighting being very stark, which I think is really well suited. And of course, with the floor, you know, our relationship with Harlequin goes back a long way. We've shot a lot of films, and I think it's something you don't have to worry about, because it's fundamental to the art form and to the profession what you're actually dancing on. These particular dancers, all leading dancers from the Royal Ballet, are used to dancing on Harlequin floors. They walk onto this and it's like being back at home again. They don't have to think about that. We don't have to think about that. For dance, fundamentally, the floor is crucial, because I think as an outsider, you think you can dance anywhere. But it's another tool. It's having that give in the slightly sprung floor means you're not jarring your joints. You're not as susceptible for injuries. We can have twice as many takes because we're not pushing the dancers so hard. And also the surface. It's not too slippery. It's not too sticky. So they have the ability to give their best performance.
Anthony Crickmay's, all of his negatives are owned by the V&A. They hold everything, and so we thought it'd be a really nice thing to do, to have a kind of exhibition perhaps, and to show the premiere of this film at the V&A in one of their performance spaces. And ideally it forms part of a bigger idea for us, which is finding ways of getting dance films on big screens. So lots of people are making cinematic dance films, but they're all seen on a phone, and we would really like to see this in cinemas. So that's kind of where we're aiming for, and hopefully we will have something worthy of seeing on the big screen.